Okay, continuing topics from board members. Inconsistency in Leon County Schools non-discrimination statement. That was something that I gave everybody some documentation about. We discussed this back, particularly when we were approving the guide, and tried to come up with something kind of on the spot because things were crossed out that had been are still on our stationery. So I would like to see us come to a definition that we can put on most documents. I realize some may be slightly altered for employees versus students, but in general, I'm really wanted to get the temperature. I was hoping for everybody, and it's just two of you here, so I might bring it up again tomorrow night. But since you're here, just your feelings on my recommendation to include gender identity in there rather than just the word gender, which was what we did with the LGBT guide. That would be the only change I would recommend.
Yeah, and so this is common across, some other school districts.
I mean, so many districts. You can see from there, Alachua, Orange, Bay. It's nothing radical. I mean, it's done all over the state.
I'm fine. I don't want to discriminate against anybody.
Right.
I'm fine.
Duval, Polk, Sarasota, St. Lucie, Palm Beach, Broward, every single one of them that I listed have this in there. Yeah, I wish we could just say Leon County Schools will never discriminate against anyone. That would be like the most ideal statement. But these all are in here for a reason because they have been not always adhered to. Right. And I could go back in my history because I've been here 50 years, when we didn't have disabilities in there. So, a lot of progress has been made. And anyway, that's my suggestion, that we get in line with other districts. And I haven't checked the city and the county discrimination policies, which I will. But I just want to get a feel. How do you feel about it?
I'm in agreement, Madam Chair.
You as well, Ms. Cox. Okay, well, maybe we can hear tomorrow night quickly from Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith and see if we have some sort of consensus.
Unless, Madam Chair,
Yes.
Opal, Ms. Williams, is there any reason that couldn't be statewide? Is there any reason
That, I'm sorry.
to add gender identity? Is there a reason that couldn't be in there, or?
Well, as has been discussed before, that is, my read is that is certainly in line with federal dictates on what sex is. I think there are going to be folks probably in our state government that may not necessarily believe that that's what's included when we consider what is sex. How our courts would fall out? I think as Mr. Spelius indicated, in our education code, there is a non-discrimination statute, and that statute is, I think it's very true, it harkens back, I think, to very definite categories, the old categories that we used to see back in the day: race, color, gender, or sex. I'm not sure which one. Sex.
Yeah.
Without any additional, but that doesn't. So what I think, including the language, is an explicit acknowledgement of what our obligation is. If you were to use the term sex, as far as the feds are concerned, that's going to be the same. But what it does is it explicitly makes clear that we will not discriminate on that basis here in this district.
And
At the same time, the use of the term "we will not discriminate on the basis of sex" covers the same base. But it's an explicit declaration using the language.
I would say much like maybe.
So I have a question. I want to just cut to the chase. What would it take to put this issue to bed?
Let's add the word gender identity into our non-discrimination. For me, that's all it would take.
Add the word gender or gender identity?
Gender identity.
Gender and gender identity?
No.
Just gender identity?
Yeah.
Sex, gender identity?
Yeah, right now, I've recommended no person show up on the basis of sex, marital status, sexual orientation, gender identity, race, religion, ethnicity, just everything we already have, and just include that. And to me, that would put it to bed. And we could quit talking about it.
I don't even know what genetic information is. Maybe
Well, that's in there, I think,
I
because
know, I
a
don't
lot of
even- I
other
don't
districts
even know
put
what
it.
that is.
The other one I didn't totally understand and I didn't include, but if we have to put the thing about Boy Scouts.
Yeah, evidently we have to put the thing about Boy Scouts.
Yeah, that's,
Right, we can't
Federal law.
discriminate against the
Federal
Boy
law.
Scouts, heaven
Yeah.
forbid.
And that needs to be in our non-discrimination statement.
Because they track the requirements for Title VI. We have to have the same.
Okay. Then I would add that to my recommendation, that we add that. And we did do that in the, if you look down at the inclusive guide,
yeah, that was included.
that was in there. So all we would actually need to do is add one word behind gender and say identity, and then we'd be done.